Good evening.
Hi Carla. Hi everyone. Good
Hi
evening.
everyone.
Hi Esther.
Hello! Good
Hello.
evening!
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Kwentuhang Beyond Kilig. For those who are still wondering what Beyond Kilig is, we're a group of people who advocate the teachings of the Catholic Church on man's identity, purpose, love, and sexuality, summed up in Pope St. John Paul II's theology of the body. Our dream is for each Filipino youth to be empowered to love beyond kilig. That is, to be able to give and receive love, real love, not just any kind of love. Through a variety of our talents and interests, we come up with content, courses, and talks to simplify and concretize the principles of life and love for us to be
Yeah.
able to live it out each day.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you said it right, Carla. And yeah, usually in our live shows, mga kwentuhan beyond kilig, gusto namin yung usapang nakakatuwa, at saka yung masaya, at saka nakakilig, di ba? So, yan. So, ano ulit yung topic natin for tonight?
Oh my gosh, God, the friend zone. You know, I don't think I'm generalizing when I say na I think all of us have at one point in our lives been part of the friend zone. Ikaw, Guada. Ikaw
Ay,
ba?
naku po! Feeling ko,
God,
well, yung sabi ko dito, parang na-biktima na ata ako dito ng ilang beses. I mean, di ba, sometimes, who wants to be in the friend zone, right? Pero,
Kaway-kaway nga dyan, yung mga na-friend zone na.
meron bang gusto mag-comment dyan? Ganun naman
kaway-kaway
talaga.
din! That would be me too! Not only buds! Ikaw din, Carla!
Oo.
I know.
At least medyo positive naman yung topic natin tonight, no? Dahil kasi, beyond the friend zone, my hope. To be honest, I was like, yay, my hope! At least yung story ng couple tonight, beyond kilig yung story nila. Sakto talaga. Oo.
Yeah.
And I
To be
love
able
na
to,
they...
go.
I love na it gives you parang a chance na, kahit pala friends, may hope. And then na friendship is actually a good foundation pala for love.
That's true. Like for me also, like I can't wait for us to be able to like go back in time kasi nga 'di ba like now courtship and friendship is way I mean it's mostly digital age 'di ba? So online dating is uso. So I mean for me it's relatable din. Kasi nga I shared with you all 'di ba my sa first episode yung love story ko. So I guess Guada, what else do we have to do we have can we already show our guests for tonight?
Oh, excited na ako.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also excited to hear their story. I mean, yeah. But before I bring them in, I'll introduce them first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So Tita Katie or Catherine Milagrosa Abaño, so she's the eldest in a brood of 6 girls and a boy. So she has a degree in architecture and painting from UP Diliman. She's also a licensed architect, interior designer, and a real estate broker. She also taught for 21 years at the Philippine School of Interior Design, and she's also a former board member and PRC Board of IT. Her interests are painting and sketching, designing, and any creative work. Whereas Tito Lito or Ramon Lito Abaño, he's the second to the youngest in a brood of 2 girls and 4 boys. He's the former VP Marketing for SM Group of Companies, former marketing consultant in BDO, and former SVP Marketing and Retail Operations of Enchanted Kingdom. So he has a degree of advertising from UST, and his interests are writing, gardening, cooking, and music. Okay, so yeah, welcome Tita Katie and Tita Lito to our show.
Hello, Tita Katie
Good
and Tito Lito.
evening.
Good evening.
Hello, Esther. Hello.
Looking so fab, guys. Looking so fab.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually I was just gonna say like, wow, you really come from a big family, no? It's like good for
Both sides.
you. Good for you. Like I mean like I was just thinking like how you were able to meet each other, no? Like parang
Ay, okay.
Manila is so big, you know.
I forgot to mention Ren. Okay, so together naman, big family then. So together they have 4 children and 7 grandchildren. And they're both serving with the Couples for Christ with a Mission Core group. So yun, another thing to add. Ito naman, they do this together, itong Couples for Christ na to. Then yun. Okay, so yun, how nice.
Yeah. So Tita Katie and Tito Lito, like how did you even where to even begin? Where did you meet each other? How did things develop?
Well, part of the requirement before you take the board exam in architecture, you have to have 2 years experience. So even if I was still studying. I worked in an architectural firm in Makati, and my office mate happened to graduate from UST, from which he graduated, and barkada sila. So one day when she went out to get cigarettes, he saw Lito applying to a job next door. So it was that interview was 1 hour pa later. So she invited Lito up to the office and introduced us. And yun, I was the last to be introduced because actually my other friend in the office wanted to meet him because his barkada is mga singers, mga minstrels, ambivalent crowd, yung mga ganon. So, yung isang friend ko, in-interview siya. And it ended up na I was the last called and we didn't have a receptionist then. Iniwanan ako sa kanya pa to entertain him. Parang sabi ko, what are you doing? Parang kailangan ko tapos naging ako yung last. Ako pa yung nag-entertain sa kanya. That's how it started.
So save the best for last ka pala, Tita Katie.
I don't remember what I was wearing, orange. Favorite color niya, orange.
Ay!
Wow!
Hashtag meant to be.
Turtleneck na halter. Kaya every anniversary, ever since then, pag meron siya nakitang turtleneck na orange, bibili niya ako.
Yeah.
May nakita siya ganun. Yeah.
Oh, then after that, 6 years.
So,
6 months later.
how's that? So I would see him after that first meeting, I would see him every 6 months. Parang in the most unlikely places. Accidental talaga. One time I was in Parks and Wildlife getting leaves for my class in landscape. He comes in from behind and said, "Miss, hindi ba kilala kita?" And then we started talking.
The moves!
Ganun, bulaga. And then, hi, hello, and then go. And then the second time naman, my favorite artist is Sergio Mendez, and he had a concert. So my sister and her boyfriend and I went to Araneta Coliseum to watch the concert. By the time we got there, kilometro na yung pila, pupunta kami sa dulo. He happened to be there, malapit na siya dun sa Takilya. Pagdaan namin ng ganyan, sabi niya, "Miss, di ba kilala kita?" Tapos pinasingit niya kami. O, di ba?
So we ended up sitting together.
Ayun.
Yeah. First date agad.
And
Hindi namin, sabi ko, kasi parang at that point, meron ko song si Sergio Mendez na So Many Stars. I was thinking, sabi ko, sino kaya yung star para sa akin? Malay ko ba, katabi ko yung star? Diba? Pero after that incident, wala na naman. Nachismis nga ako kasi yung friend ko sa school, sabi niya, "Uy, sino yung kasama mo?" Syempre, wala lang, barkada lang naman di ba? So, another 6 months later, nakita ko naman siya dun sa while waiting for, wala pa kayo nun, yung mga love bus, going home from Makati. I lived in West Abaño, he lives in Project 8, and we will go the same route. Tapos yung love bus, yung comfortable. So,
air condition.
Instead of going the rush hour, we will eat dinner, early dinner, para wala na tao. And then, we will be able to sit down and have the love bus. Nakita ko na naman siya. Parang every 6 months nakikita ko, parang sabi ko, bakit naman ganito? Parang you're not letting me forget that there's such a person. But I don't see him naman all the time, di ba? So are you saying na something to me? Pero pinabayaan ko lang ng ganyan. Kasi sabi ko, ba't ganun? Parang lulubog, lulutang. Now you see him, now you don't. Bakit kaya ganun? Kasi, sabagay, we were barkada. I didn't have anything beyond that. Pero sabi ko, ba't ganun? Every 6 months, di ba?
So we would go home together na kasi doon sa lab bus. So naka-develop na yung friendship. And of course, we would
Friendship
agree
pa lang.
we would agree to meet at a certain time and we would eat first. Sabi nga, we would eat first dun sa, I don't know if you know the place Automat.
Wala
Makati
na yun eh.
Automat, wala na yun.
Quad 3 na yun.
They
Quad
used to
3.
serve the best chicken henny or what. So you would eat there and then go home. Ganun lang. And it was quite a long trip. So we got to know each other. We enjoyed the conversations and at a certain time, di ba, we had to sell our house in Quezon City in Project 8 and would go, we transferred. We were not ready to move to BF Homes, Parañaque. My father was not able to buy a house right away, but the buyer of our house wanted to take over right away. So we stayed in an apartment. Pero nakakatawa kasi 2-door apartments. They broke the wall in between. So open yung baba, room sa taas, 2 stairways, 2 CR, and 2 telephones. So I get her telephones and I would call her. Gagamitin ko yung 2 phone sabay, pag ganyan, para stereo. And I thought stereo yung sound. And we really had a lot of fun talking to one another at that time. Naging barkada. And then she
Yung
started.
yung totoo, Tito, the whole time that you were doing that, wala kahit crush? Like, hindi mo pa siya nakikita as...
I was married to my barkada. Would you believe I had a first love. Siguro puppy love lang yun kasi it lasted for 3 days. 3 days lang. And it was all my barkada, puro barkada. And I came from the seminary kasi. I stayed 4 years in the seminary. So lahat ng kasama ko lalaki. So when I went to college, gusto ko kasama ko puro lalaki. No? So puro barkada. And so she became like barkada na rin. No? Barkada na. As a matter of fact, pupunta nga kami dun they had this ice cream parlor, Magnolia Ice Cream Parlor sa West Avenue. And may barkada, we would go there. And yeah, yung tratong barkada, pinakilala ko siya and all that. Wala, ganun lang. It was, I had fun. I enjoyed talking to her. Siguro, imagine mo naman, no? 4 years, you could not relate to the opposite sex when you're in high school. I mean, in the seminary, it was different to have a female friend. No, even if you had a lot of male friends. No? So,
Ako naman, on my end, I was like, siyempre meron mga ibang lumiligaw o meron ka ring crush. Pero hindi magtugma eh. Kaya sabi ko nga, so many stars, which one is right for me. Pero with Lito, parang my guard was down. Kasi parang I didn't even consider him the picture as anything beyond friends. Friends lang talaga. In the first place, hindi ko siya type kasi singkit siya.
Hindi ko rin siya type.
Hindi rin niya ako type. Wala daw akong boobs. Tapos sa ano niya naman, singkit siya. Gusto ng mother ko, malaking mata yung mapapakasawa ko para yung apo niya malalaki din yung mata. So parang my guard was down. He was like a very good friend to me. Na, parang walang tigil yung usapan. In fact, as we were telling you na I live in West Avenue, siya siguro mga 1 stop later pa, Project 8. So I would go down, parang bitin yung usapan namin. So kaya hiningi niya yung telephone number. Pagdating niya sa bahay, tawag agad siya. Tapos parang telebabad talaga kami, walang tigil. And it reached a point na yung friendship namin, you know how it is na it's okay to be quiet, na you don't feel awkward that you have to talk. Kasi parang yung mga ibang lumigaw sa akin, pag tumahimik kailangan magsalta, ano ba yun? Awkward, di ba? So,
Awkward na.
And sa kanya, okay lang na tahimik kayo pareho, parang walang awkwardness. It was a comfortable
silence. Yeah.
Yeah, yung parang okay lang who you are, what you wanna do. Tanggap niya. And the same thing with me. So talagang, if anything, para kami magkapatid at that point. kasi very close kami noon. Lahat ng mga kanyang mga aunts, nakita niya yung first na girl sa buhay niya, going to the reception of after the wedding. When he called me, nag-sub-story siya kasi biglang nag-replay lahat yung mga hurt niya noon sa first love. Diba? So, comforter ako. The next day, panay jokes naman yung pala meron siyang 2 notebook na panay jokes. Hawak-hawak niya. Yan, tingin yung jokes, no? So, sabi ko, ano ba to? Nag-isip ko sa one day, tawa ng tawa. One day naman, masama alop, iyak ng iyak.
Iyak na iyak.
Kaya lang yung... But then, the thing was...
Naiyak ako, nakita ko yung husband. Sabi ko, what a waste.
Naisip ko ng time na yun.
So,
walang pretensions, di ba? Walang pretensions, walang mga... In fact, I remember nung third time na nakita mo accidentally, we were eating together. Sabi ko, iba tong lalaking to. Kasi di ba yung mga ibang guys, conscious pag dating nga sa ipin, kasi I go out, or I don't know. But siya kanya, hindi niya tinago, he just covered his mouth and he picked his teeth in front of me. Wala siyang plastic. Sabi ko, hindi siya yung time to impress. Kasi yung mga iba, yung nagpapa-impress, yung na para meron silang...
Kasi hindi naman ako nanliligaw.
Kasi hindi nga siya nanliligaw.
Sobrang chill ni Tito Lito. Sobrang chill.
Hindi naman yung kumbaga kahit na hindi siya nanliligaw, wala rin siyang tinago. I mean, siya yun. Wala, hindi plastic. Yun.
How long po yung stage na ganyan?
Oo. Ng friendship bago naging more than that.
Like yung kain lang kayo ng kain, tapos sabay umuuwi. Mga
hindi paligaw, gano'n.
Siguro kasi parang everyday kami nagkikita, sabay-sabay kami kakain, tapos sabay-sabay kami uuwi, parang halos everyday. Until lumipat sila sa Parañaque.
That was the...
Oo, yun yung hindi na kami nagkikita kasi iba na yung pinupuntahan ng direksyon eh. Sa south na siya, ako sa west.
Layo.
Tapos wala pang masyadong telepono.
Wala kaming telepono. We didn't have any. Yeah. I would either take a tricycle or walk to the nearest. There was a hotel resort, Hotel El Grande, tropical hotel. It's long time ago.
Long time, wala na, talahib na
yun. Sa lobby doon, merong mga music, may lounge, may banda, lahat. And then the payphones, yung red na payphone, PLDT payphone, so those
25 centavos.
I would call her from there just to continue. Just continue yung mga kwentuhan namin, what happened in the office. Kaya, ang hirap. I would write her letters. I would write letters to her kasi I could not talk to her every day. So sometimes ang dami ko kwento, I just write letters and next time I get to see her, abot ko na lang yung letter. But I think
grabe, hindi pa po kayo nanliligaw niyan, ha? Pero grabe na po yung effort na tumawag, tapos mag-write ng letters. Ako lang ba kinikilig, guys?
Journal.
Para hindi niya makalimutan, sinusulat niya. Tapos ako naman magre-review ako, babasahin ko.
I would meet her at the bus stop.
Meeting place talaga.
Normally meet,
sa labas.
And then ang makasakay siya, and then I go south, no? So nagkikita pa rin kami, but because it got to be difficult, quite difficult at that point.
There was a time na nung paglipat nila, hindi ko siya nakakausap, nagkaroon ng long lull. Tapos nainis ako sa sarili ko, sabi ko, bakit ko nami-miss itong taong to? Hindi dapat na, ganun. Yung ganun ng I miss the conversation, the company na meron kang kakwento, kakonsyaba. Para siya, you would say, di ba, you have girlfriends, you can say anything. Parang ganun. Just happen to be a boy, right? And so, parang na-miss ko yung conversation o yung synergy. So, sabi ko, bakit ko siya mamimiss? Hindi naman dapat.
Nakahalata ako. One evening, we were eating at the restaurant sa Patumat, di ba? So tinanong ko, naka-contact lens ka ba? Sabi niya, no, why? Sabi ko, titwinkle yung eyes mo eh.
Oh,
Kala ko lang, titwinkle, no? Hindi ko lang ma-interpret ko ano yun.
So talaga,
Pero yung pala,
ako naman,
nami-miss na niya ako.
hindi pa yun. Iba yun, mali. Pero nakita ko, sabi nung tinanong niya sa akin yung question na yun, nagtaka ako, bakit siyempre may magkakatwinkle sa mata, ibig kausap ko magtitwinkle. Ano yung twinkle, twinkle, little star. Tapos, nung tinignan ko siyang gano'n, sabi ko, iba ang tingin, parang attracted. Nung ko nakita, attracted, yeah. So, at least,
Doon mo malalaman, no?
na hindi naman ako pangit, pero hindi, friend ko lang talaga siya. At least, hindi ako, kumbaga, na-itchapuera dahil sa looks.
Grabe the fact that he was staring at your eyes, Tita.
Hindi lang yun, no? Every time we meet.
kinilig ka ba, tita?
Ako? Hindi naman. Kasi nasabi ko, barkada nga kami.
But every time we meet, no? Paiksi yung skirt.
Hindi. Uso na ng miniskirt. Yung lola ko, lagi akong kinukurot. Ayaw niya ng miniskirt. Uso na ng miniskirt. Walang sinabi yung mga miniskirt na yun sa inyo. Micro-mini kami. Those were the days.
So how did...
Yeah.
Paano
nag-cross over?
Oo. Ako curious na kami.
As in,
I mean, it seemed like a solid friendship.
Okay.
I was starting to miss him nga, and then I told the person, yung si Blessy, she's my best friend. She was the one who introduced us. We would go to mass together. Sabi ko, Blessy, bakit ganito? And there were times na parang all of a sudden, without any reason, I would feel uneasy. Na hindi ka mapakali. And then she would say, ay naku, naaalala ka ni Lito, kaya ka ganyan. Sabi niya. So when I was feeling all these things, then I realized, like, teka muna, hindi na friendship ang nararamdaman ko. But Blessing, I would go to mass, daily mass, to Santuario San Antonio in Forbes Park, 12 noon. And so at a certain point, I already prayed to Mama Mary. Mama Mary, I want to keep this person as a friend. Sabi ko, if the romantic feelings will get in the way, I will kill the romantic feelings because I want him as a friend for life. But I do not know your plans, and pinagdasal ko kay St. Joseph for a good spouse. So if you plan something different for us, show me a sign. At that time kasi, actually, my favorite color is green. So I said, let him come to me on before Christmas Day or Christmas Day in green. At that time, ang mga suit ng mga guys is white, gray, blue, brown, ganyan. Alam mo, dumating siya sa bahay. Imagine his work was in Makati. He made a detour to West Avenue before he went back to South.
I'm not sure kung saan nag-freeze.
And he was wearing a green and white striped shirt
Carla?
and green corduroy pants. So when he came into the house, para akong medyo natulala kasi sabi ko, teka muna, how obvious naman, green and white stripes, green corduroy pants, di ba? Who wears that?
Bell bottom pa yun.
Bell bottom pa. Hindi ko man naisip na Christmas naman, green. Pero hindi, kasi yun ang hinihingi ko eh. Show me a sign. Yung iba humihingi ng flower. Ako, show me a sign. Please bring him to me in green. O, dumating ng green, nag-detour from...
Green na green.
Green talaga.
So green.
Kotse daw niya green the time na yun. So, kaya para doon ako nagulat kasi Christmas Eve, isipin mo, parang sabi ko kay Lord, Mama Mary, ito ba yung sagot mo? Kasi parang, ang Christmas gift mo sa akin? Yung ganun. It's a sign. Diba? It's a sign.
Actually, I also started missing her. I even wrote her a letter. You didn't mention that. I wrote her a letter. Sabi ko, alam mo, layo-layo ng tinitirahan ko, layo-layo ng tinitirahan mo, you're in that kind of profession, I'm in this kind of profession. Walang mangyayari sa atin eh. I don't think, parang I'm not good enough for you and ganyan. Sabi ko, maybe I don't want to encourage this feeling I have, parang ganun. And then the next day, she went to my office I always in a brand new Mitsubishi Lancer.
Wow.
My dad's.
Our
My
dad.
dad's.
And she said, "Can we have lunch?" Yes.
Wow.
Then over lunch, we
talk.
we talked. We told each other our feelings. So actually, there was no courtship. There was no courtship. It's just she didn't want to lose the friendship. Ganon din ako. I didn't want to lose the friendship. I didn't have a serious relationship with anybody. All I had was the memories of my 3 day first my 3 day girlfriend, my first love, and that was it, no? So wala, and that was how many years, no? From what 69, 60 something to 70 plus. So wala talaga, and I just didn't want to lose the friendship. So sabi ko sa kanya, I don't want to lose the friendship, sana ganyan, and then I realized I was in love with her, and she realized, I think, about the same time that she was in love with me. So sabi na, i-graduate na natin tong friendship na to. Why don't we see each other as you would say now, a couple? Dati wala pang ganun eh. Ang tawag namin, let's go steady.
Oo.
Oh,
Steady.
hashtag go steady.
I love talaga, who's steady?
Ang mga viewers natin, hashtag nyo nga kung nandyan pa kayo sa atin. Hashtag go steady.
Go steady.
Comment naman kayo dyan.
Comment down below
Anong
so
term
that we
ngayon? Anong term ngayon?
Couple.
Couple. Ano pa?
Ano ba yung ginagamit ngayon?
Will you be my girlfriend?
Ayun yung tanong.
Ganon.
Ayan, may nag-comment. Go steady. Ayan. Ito si Kim. Ito sabi ni Glenmarie, yun daw yung love story.
So parang yung pag boyfriend girlfriend namin, 3 years before we decided to get married. Actually 3.5 years by the time we got married. Ang maganda dun sa naging relationship namin, para yung ando pa rin yung friendship. Tapos you realize as you go around, para kahit pareho values ninyo. May slight differences kasi his parents are from Pagsanahan, Laguna. Tapos yung sa mother ko grew up here, and she met my dad in the States. So parang iba ang pananaw nila. Pero values, parang pareho. Halos pareho kami magkasing laki ng family. So parang you realize, parang okay naman, mag-in-sync siya na ano. And I also realized later on, tama yung sinasabi pala nila na you have to be in a relationship for at least 2 years. You have to be more than 2 years in a relationship before you get married. Kasi yung first 2 years, parang honeymoon yan eh. You show your best side na medyo nagpapanggap ka pa. Kasi gusto mong to show your best side. After 2 years, mapapagod ka na, lalabas na yung natural. And totoo kasi after that, parang mas madalas na yung mga misunderstandings. But then, that's like fine-tuning, kumbaga, yung mga gears, nag-a-adjust. Ganun. So, by the time we realize na, it's time to go to a next level, parang naka-adjust na kami. Kasi 3.5 years eh. It took us 3.5 years before we got married. Yeah.
Since you started off, like you talked about na kami ng values and I to keep in my life.
Choppy.
Sorry, can you say it again, Carla?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh no, I was in sila and
Oh,
No?
walang audio. Ayan, you can try it again.
oh sila friends naman.
Yeah.
Can you type it?
Yes.
Can't hear it, Carla.
Maybe
Try
try
it again.
with maybe
I'll check.
Can somebody repeat the question?
Kayo na muna.
Heard it?
Oh, can I continue pala yung kwento ko?
Sige, go, tita.
Oo, kasi I remember yung moral values namin pareho yung
Yeah, yun. I think that's a question of Carla about your shared values.
I remember yung time na yun, di ba you grew up in a Catholic upbringing and you pray to Saint Joseph for a good spouse, and one of the things that you learn is to try to be chaste and pure. So one of the things that I told him nung mag-boyfriend, mag-studies pa lang kami, sabi ko, I would like sana for us to maintain my chastity para yung gift ko sa kanya on our wedding night is my chastity. And syempre, being mag-studies, you know, you'll also get into the kilig and the romantic moments. But I will honor him because he really, what he promised that yung gusto ko, desire ko, he kept. And later on, when we got married, I realized it's such a big thing pala yung when you're practicing chastity before marriage. Because when you get married, you will practice it all the more. Because we talked about how many children that we want to have, and spacing niya. And so when you get married, yung discipline, self-control, he was able to help us plan our family kasi he will be the head of the family, he will be the provider. So nasa kanya yung primary responsibility of when, for example, that you want to have relationships. That's why I would have this calendar, yung billings method, minamark ko, I taught him to look at it. And it so happened that every time during our married life, when we have his birthday, my birthday, our anniversary, February 14, Christmas, New Year, lahat ng mga magandang vacation, I would always be fertile. And so because he knows na kailangan na spacing namin ganito, and because I had a cesarean, that you have to space your child after a cesarean. So, yung practice before our wedding, marriage, yung self-control niya, he was out of sacrificial love for me and of course our relationship. He was able to do. In fact, alam niya yung cue eh.
She will always load the refrigerator with bottles of beer. We live in a compound. So where I park my car, I enter the house through the back, through the kitchen. So syempre, pag napagod ka galing sa office, first thing before I kiss my wife, I kiss the saint. I kiss
San Miguel.
Saint Michael. So when I see our rep loaded with beer, okay, I get you.
Minsan naman ang gagawin niya, alam niya, titingnan niya yung calendar dun sa loob ng closet door. Maliligo na lang yun ng malamig na tubig para to cool down, tapos magpapatugtog yan ng mga stereo niya, mga rock music niya, lahat ng genre ng music, enjoy siya doon na para to cool down. Until he falls asleep na wala na yung gano'n. Pero talaga, yung special occasions, I'm always fertile. Always.
Did you find dear to talk about these things first? Yung mga...
Your audio, Carla.
Kapit lang, Mom, she.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay. Anyways, yun, with that insight, Tita Katie and Tito Lito, no, na parang, people kasi would think na, okay, chastity before marriage lang yun, pero the value of it even during marriage, that's what you mentioned. Oo. So may mga practical uses rin siya, and it's also important. Mm-mm. Okay. Wait, ano yung gusto mo bang sabihin? Ayun, was it easier to talk? Okay, so was it easier to talk about these things since you were friends first? Yung question ni Carla about yun, yung virtue of chastity and all the things that you'd want to practice.
Kasi parang at that point, when we were steady,
we were going steady already when we started talking about
things like that. It was we were not individuals anymore in that sense. Kasi when I share something with him,
and we were kissing na no? Nasa lodge mo kami ng theaters, no longer in the orchestra.
Kumbaga, it was very natural for us to talk about such things. Kasi syempre yung mga ibang contemporaries mo, nakikita mo rin. During our time, parang disgrasyada ka pag you are pregnant before you get married. Disgrasyada ka talaga. And we saw the point ng mga may 80s na, buntis siya bago kinasal, ay normal lang yan. Alam mo yung nag-progress ng ganun, yung values. So, but we met each other at a time.
I've got something to share there. I've got something to share. I went steady with her. I went steady with her because I valued the friendship. I valued the person. I was not out to take advantage of a girl who I knew was in love with me. And, sorry, but during my time, yung barkada ko, wherever we go, medyo, kasi nagwapo ng mga kasama ko.
Kilabot
kami, kilabot kami, and deadly kami. Deadly kami. The worst thing we did one time was we went to this gay bar with the sister of one of our barkada, di ba? And she had a paper with our names and everything. She was going through the gays there in the bar, and who do you like from my friends? Who do you like? How much are you willing to pay? Katuwaan lang, no? And grabe yung mga friends ko, no? So what I'm saying is, I was not after anything more than keeping her as a friend, or keeping her as somebody I love. And when she told me that, sabi niya, I want to preserve my chastity and my virginity and give it to you on our wedding night as my gift. I said, oh, beautiful. No, I liked that, and I respected that, because I wanted to keep the person. I was not after the experience of doing it with her. It was not a conquest.
I just remembered something. I just remembered something, was when he was talking. Kasi do you know, on our wedding night, syempre, you go to the bathroom, you change into your nightgown, and you go to the Venice there, no? You know what he told me? Sabi niya, come on, let's go on our knees and let's pray. Parang medyo nagulat ako kasi parang, of course, I have no idea naman, pero parang we went to the foot of the bed and we knelt down and he led the prayer. So in my mind, sabi ko, does it happen to everybody? Parang bless us, oh Lord, in this time.
Sana all.
Diba? Pero thinking about that, kasi parang he blessed our matrimonial bed. That's the first night. So parang, it was, going back, maganda pala yung gesture na ginawa niya. He prayed for our, actually, our first child was a honeymoon baby. Siguro he prayed for that too. O, di ba?
But I wanted a girl. You got a point.
Oh, okay. Sige.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I also shared values that we carry through. Kasi before we got married, the priest who married us, siya rin ang nagano ng marriage, counseling, pre-K na. And one thing I remember, and up to now, both of us are guided by that. And we enforce our family values. Sabi niya, if you have to remember anything, keep your priorities in order. So he said, first priority is God. Okay. Second priority is your spouse. Your third priority is your children. The fourth priority is your family, birth family or in-laws. And the last priority is yourself, yung gusto mo. So there were times during our married life na minsan yung career mo gets in the way that this is the one. And nagkakabanggaan kami, nagkakagulo yung relationship namin. And then that's the time I would remember yung advice ng priest. Ano ba yung priority ko? So that's why at a certain point, parang in a sense, sinacrifice ko yung gusto ko, yung career ko, ambitions ko for my God, for Lito, and for the children. And looking back, sabi ko, tama naman. Kasi I can build a career, build possessions, but I won't be able to show my mark I will leave behind my children, my grandchildren. That's our mark. And it's not only mine, it's also his, di ba? Kasi kaming dalawa ang we are cooperators in the plan of God. Yun.
Beautiful. Well
Beautifully
said.
said.
Yes. Well
Standing ovation.
said. Yeah. Okay. Here, there's let's just show some comments. So they're from May. That's true love. You should respect and trust your partner. Agree. Okay.
Siguro you want to ask. Ako na
Yeah, Tito Lito, I
You
have
may
a
want to
question.
ask
Yeah, I actually have
what led me to ask her to marry me.
Yes, Tito. Yes. Yes, please answer
Three and
that
a-
question.
3.5 years, nagtitiis ako, hindi ba? Nagtitiis ako. We couldn't go beyond kissing. Okay. One time, I think she applied or she passed a course in
Masters.
a master's in the US, and she wanted to take that course. So she told me about it, and she told me also the reaction of her parents. Sabi ng parents niya, oh, okay, that's a 2-year course. We will finance you. I mean, of course, may scholarship ka, pero where will you stay, yung allowances, etc., etc. But, sabi, yung tatay niya, businessman eh. Sabi niya, corporate man actually. When you come back, you have to work for me for 2 years also. You don't get married the moment you come back, you get married. No, it can't be. Sabi niya, I will finance you for 2 years. You come back, you work for me, work for the family, for 2 years before you even think of marriage. So at that point, I computed. Sabi ko, mawawala to eh. Nag-isip ako, mawawala to. I mean, mas gwapo yung mga puti kaysa sa akin eh, no? Ay ko mawawala to. So I told her 3.5 years is long enough. Sabi ko, maybe I'll give you an alternative. You go for that scholarship, or you stay and marry me.
Wow.
I may not be able to give you more than what you have with your family, but I'll try to give you as much as what they give you. Parang walang change naman sa lifestyle mo. She decided to marry me, and the parents naman respected that.
Yun. Nice.
So 3.5 years lang ako nagtiis.
Ayan. True love is so beautiful. Yes. Okay. From my end naman, since like yun, beyond kilig. So yun, if you can also share maybe a beyond kilig moment that, in case that you'd want to discuss. Actually, kinikilig naman ako the whole time, no? Pero yeah, if there's one that you'd want to like
highlight.
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 You mean you, not us.
You.
Kayo.
Beyond kilig.
Yeah.
It's funny because yung pangalan niyo, Bayan Kilig. We have a friend in Couples for Christ. I like to ask them people yung love story nila. And si Dulce, I asked, how did you meet Peping, ganyan. And then I remember her kwento because she's a funny person. Sabi niya, do you know, Katie, the first time Peping kissed me, and then she started saying, I feel the earth move under my feet. Yung ganun ba? It happens talaga, no? But she was able to put it talaga na yung kilig moment. Kasi it happens, di ba? But the thing about that, na-balance namin yan, na yung emotional, yung physical, yung intellectual, yung spiritual side na balance namin. We will go to mass together pag Sundays. Tapos of course we'll have fun. Yung mga time na yun, mga maraming banda-banda sa lahat ng mga hotel. We'll go out, yung mga gano'n. But bumabalik dun sa values that we grew up with. And I'm grateful na talagang the funny thing is diba, I prayed to St. Joseph for a good spouse like him. Later on, I realized when one of our nieces got married in San Antonio. St. Antonio de Padua pala is the patron of mga or
Lost items ba?
lovers. Parang
Or
minamatch
kala ko
niya.
last items.
Ha? Yung
Di ba
parang
last items?
Lost
No,
items, yeah.
Yes.
walang mga bagay.
St. Jude yun, St.
St.
Jude.
Jude yun. Yes, St. Anthony. Pero
Also,
Anthony,
St. Anthony din.
patron pala of mga lovers. He puts them together. Eh, pinagdasal ko siya dun sa St. Anthony de Padua Church, San Antonio in Forbes, di ba? So, tapos, sabi ko, teka muna, si St. Joseph, St. Anthony, Mama Mary, conspiracy! Lakad siya.
Yan yung key.
God's plan yun, God's plan.
Yan. Okay. Yeah, that's...
Did you
It's
have...
basically...
Kinig niyo na ba ako?
Huh?
Ha?
Yeah, I heard you.
Can you try speaking again?
About like, did they or they got married? Like, parang ito, before they got, it was just really one thing.
Okay, I'll guess
Okay,
what...
chat it na lang. Chat na lang, Carla. Hindi namin nakuha.
Yeah.
You said something like before marriage, no? Okay, so we planned our wedding. We knew that it was the sacrament that will make us husband and wife. So ang minds namin nandun sa affair or event na yon, no? But we carried on with our lives. At the same time, we prepared. Nag-aaway pa kami. And you won't believe this. There was a point we decided, cool off muna tayo.
1 month before.
1 month before, cool off tayo. And she asked me, you mean relationship? What about the wedding? No, the wedding will move on. I mean, will go on. The wedding will go on. Move. Cool off muna tayo kasi nag-aaway na kami sa preparation. And we realized it was not helping the relationship. It was not helping the relationship. So why suffer the relationship when it is just an event that we were preparing for? So cool off namin was, sige, you do your side of the plans, I'll work on my side of the plans, and when the stress, yun, tama niya, when the stress is gone, then sige, let's go back to seeing each other, going out, eating out again. Pero tanggalin natin yung stress. And it worked. It helped a lot.
But I remember also something, kasi unlike before, I mean, now kasi the weddings are planned so many months or years ahead. Tapos meron pang prenup pictures.
Opo, sobrang bongga po.
Sobrang bongga. And now that you have to get married in the evening. Kami, we like to get married in the morning kasi
Early morning.
mas mura yung babayaran mo sa reception. Ang breakfast kasi sa evening. But what I remember particularly, kasi February 14 siya nag-propose sa akin to get married. February 14, and then we got married
I
July
didn't propose,
4.
I asked you to marry.
Of July 4.
Terminologies.
So that's a few months lang. Diba, you know what I remember kasi, nung that short time, alam mo, test talaga ni Lord kung talagang kayo talaga. Kasi merong babae nagkagusto sa kanya, hinahabol siya, pinupuntahan siya sa office. Naalala mo, galing sa Aklan, atihan. And then he was busy in his work kasi in advertising. Nag-set up siya ng fashion show na mga nakakasama niya, mga ang gagandang model, mga beauty queen. Kasi advertising siya. On my end naman, I'm an architect, kasama ko mga engineers, di ba, mga contractor. Parang disparate. So, siya lang ang only boy sa barkada niya, panay beauty queen at model ang kasama niya. Ako naman, panay only girl, tapos panay yung mga lalaki kasama ko, di ba? So there are many things that could happen.
Baliktad.
Oo, baliktad kami. But yung may gusto sa kanya yung babae, tapos alam mo, if there is something wrong, kung may gusto yung babae sa kanya o hindi. Siya rin na-attract. Pag nagkaroon kami ng parang gusot o misunderstanding because of those incidents. Pero nung naayos namin, parang it was like a last-minute surprise quiz, are you ready before getting married? So parang nung nalampasan namin yon, including the stress of putting together the wedding arrangements, parang okay na, di ba?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I have the question naman. So,
Yeah.
how did the friendship, let's say, take a key role in your marriage? Like, how does it save your marriage as a
So,
whole? Because, diba, it's something that you guys started as friends first, and when people always say friendship is important in marriage, but is there like an instance wherein friendship actually, saved it or made a big impact?
I would say it's still the, no, I don't want to lose this friend.
Mm.
Uh, I mean, I want, I don't want to lose this wife, no? Or I don't want to lose the mother of my children. Iba yun eh. Iba yung perspective nun, iba yung considerations nun. No, I didn't want to lose the friend, the person who understands me, who corrects me, who nags me if she want if if she thinks I have to change, if I have to change my ways. She became part of my personality, my character. It,
Extension.
I have I have a I have to an admission to make. At a certain point in my life, nung single pa ako, I knew I wanted to have a family. I wanted to have children. I mean, I adored my parents, no, and I love to have what they had or what they have. So, kumpleto na yung vision ko, kumpleto na yon. Ang kulang na lang yung lagyan mo ng muka, lagyan mo ng person, yung wife. Ganon. Ano yun, filling the blanks na lang ako. Kumpleto na, na-imagine ko na yung family, lahat-lahat. I just had to fill that blank. And I filled up that blank with this friend of mine. This friend na I wanted to be part of my life. Kaya nga, during the troubles or during what have you in the marriage, ang laging ano ko is, no, I can leave her if I want to kasi hindi ko na kaya, hindi ba? But I cannot eh. I cannot because she was already part of me. More of the friend that developed into a wife that I developed to love. I don't know if it makes sense,
Yeah.
but
It's kind of true now, especially when we're older. Kasi like, when you get older, nabibigi ka na, mahina na tenga mo, and nakakalimutan mo na. So your communication suffers, and paulit-ulit ka na, makulit ka na. Yung lahat ng mga nakikita natin sa mga lolo't lolo na, ganyan na kami ngayon, di ba? Ganyan na kami ngayon, plus with the pandemya pa. Eh, syempre, may mga irritants. Yung ibang tao na siguro pag nag-away sila, hiwalayan na, ayoko na, hindi ko na kaya, ganyan. But somehow, ganun siguro ang pakiramdam mo before you sleep. But the next morning, ba't ganun? Nawala mo yung galit ko. Hindi naman sa dahil na nakalimutan mo na yung nangyari. Pero parang hindi normal kung magkagalit kayo ng ganun katagal. Kasi friend mo nga eh. Di ba?
the other morning, I woke up and I told her, you know, ang hirap pala magalit sa'yo. Pagdating ng umaga, nakakalimutan na.
Pero totoo yun. Eh parang siguro tama yung sinasabi nila eh. Parang sometimes kasi we read each other's thoughts, which is also dangerous in a way. Kasi parang sinasabi mo, inuunahan mo na, di ba? Na hindi pa naman na sinasabi. But in a certain sense, parang at instinctively, alam mo na anong gusto niya, anong ayaw niya. And you have a chance to talk about it if you disagree. But you can talk about it. That's the point. Nagkakaroon na ng understanding. And there's that openness na hindi panalo dapat yung isa, tapos talo yung isa. No. Panalo kayo dapat pareho kasi kayong nag-decide together. Diba? In the end naman, bumabalik din yung siya yung head eh. I have to tell him my point of view because he needs to know that to make a decision. Otherwise, he will have to face God kung ano yung decision na yun, kung mali. So he has to listen to me and I have to follow him in when he decides. If it's that decision naman is not okay, I have to pray harder that it will be okay or things happen na maayos to be okay. So yun yung headship and submission na tutunan namin in our community couple Christ. Yeah.
Ayan. Okay, thank you,
Yeah,
Tito
I
Lito
love
and
it.
Tita Katie. Like, we learned so much and beautiful your story and your insights. Okay, so to everyone watching us right now, if you guys like the show tonight, please follow. Ensure to follow us in Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe to us on YouTube. So in case you've also missed our previous shows, you can watch it there, the replay. So there. Oo. Okay. Before we end, any key takeaways? Estelle, you want to go ahead first
Yeah,
with
I'll
the
go first. I'll
insights?
go first.
Mhm.
So one of the few things which I really like that you mentioned was, diba, if I'm not mistaken, Tita Katie, it was your mom who mentioned to pray to Saint Joseph for a good spouse. So I really like that part kasi sobrang relate ko kasi my mom always tells me din before to pray to Saint Joseph. And yeah, I believe in him. I believe in Saint Joseph. And also that you have to trust the process no matter what, and trust God's plans for ourselves. And kasi when you see, we talked about the green, diba? Like you were asking for a sign and you like the color green. So actually it's if you've noticed, Saint Joseph he wears green and brown
Mm.
robes.
Yeah.
So 'di ba, yung green, it means yung it symbolizes Joseph's faithfulness to God's call. So yun. I was like, wow, it's like so in sync. So sana all my Saint Joseph. Hashtag
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 sana
dyan.
all my Saint Joseph.
So yeah,
Oo.
kudos guys, kudos.
Okay, thanks, Estelle. Carla, you want to try speaking? Still
I don't
none?
wanna, hindi na naman ako
Okay.
marinig.
Sige. Sige, ito yung kay Carla. She loves the valuing the person part. So yun, that was mentioned earlier. Oo. Okay. Ako naman from my end, I like it what you mentioned na you saw her as part of the picture, no, and that you didn't want to lose her because yun, as a friend and all that. So I think that's something. And then Tito Lito, there were instances that you said that kind of challenged that also, that you didn't want to lose her, no? In the very start, you mentioned na when you guys live far apart, parang you started missing her. And then the next time naman was when she was about to go for masters, and you napaisip ka doon na, oh, okay, she's someone that I'd want to marry. So parang there were challenges there, not really challenges, but then situations that made you think na, okay, I don't want to lose her. So yun, I think that made an impact sa akin, no, to help people decide and discern na, okay, I think that's what's going to help people discern for the value of the person, and to discern if it's your spouse or not, no, if you have those moments na, okay, I really don't want to lose the person. So there, I think those are valuable situations that will make a person rethink. Yeah. So that's what I thought, that was that I picked up from your story. Okay, so there, we're about to, we'll be ending our show soon. Just an announcement from my end. So just to plug in about A Restless Soul. So finally, it's now in YouTube. It's also on Spotify. It's also in, I think, Apple. Yeah, in iTunes.
I choose.
iTunes ba? Yeah, iTunes.
Oh.
So there, people can now listen to it anytime. So
Yeah,
the
the major
Restless.
platforms.
Mhm.
Let's go,
Yes.
rest the soul.
So yeah, Restless Soul is our original song made by some members of the Beyond Kilig team and participants of the Love Rediscovered course. Okay, so yeah, that's it for tonight. Thank you everyone, and sa
Thanks so
susunod ulit.
much, Tito Lito and Tita Katie.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tito Lito and
We
Tita
really
Katie.
enjoyed your stories.
Yes.
sobrang, sobrang beyond
Sobrang
kilig.
kilig. Yes, very
Beyond
much
kilig.
beyond kilig.
Sobrang
Yeah.
kilig.
Yes. Okay. So we'll also mention in our next show, so that would be on November 20. So that's on a third Saturday. We'll have naman with us Tita Joy Katigbak. So she'll be talking about her theology of the body journey. She's also with Couples for Christ, and she's
Yes, please.
also theology of the body speaker, and that's her advocacy. Her family, all of them advocate that. So there, we'll hear more about her journey and her story in on our next show. So please join us again. So again, that's November 20 at 8:30 p.m. Okay. All right. Thank you,
Yay!
Thank
everyone.
you.